few years ago, as I was walking and praying, the Holy Spirit spoke to me. Just a few words. Be careful about the condition of your heart. There's nothing more important. That was it. I was left to ponder what I just heard and what it meant. So few words, but so much meaning to me personally. Now imagine this. Imagine me there when the Titanic was launched. What a magnificent sight that would have been. The world's largest ship. A wonder of the world, stunningly beautiful in design and filled with so much opulence. This ship was built to ply the oceans of the world and power through tide and wave and storm. At its beating heart, there was 29 huge boilers, and they were powered by 159 enormous furnaces. They had to be continually fed by coal night and day. If fires ever went out or ran low, then the engines would begin to falter. Without power, the ship, any ship, no matter how big, would be set adrift and helpless on an ocean. If a storm came along, it would sink, no matter how big it was or how well it was built. Christendom, brothers and sisters, and all its many factions, is like a huge ship upon the ocean. No matter how big or how impressive your church is, your denomination is, your particular ministry is, without a fire at its beating heart, it's just drifting and waiting for the storm that will take it down. So we make the mistake of thinking that what we have or what we belong to could never sink. That it's too big to fail or too impressive or too well built. I imagine those in Israel thought that about the temple and in Jerusalem as well. Yet if Christ does not dwell in the depths of our heart with the power of the Holy Spirit firing the furnace, then we are simply living on borrowed time. We may move about that ship that's not under power and think that we're okay and that we're not in danger, yet one storm or series of storms will simply turn us sideways. We will face the waves broadside, we'll begin to sway back and forward, and one of these times the ship will go over. It will founder in the seas of this world that simply carries it along with its winds and tides and waves. Without power, brothers and sisters, we cannot head into the storm, but will simply be tossed around by it. Without power, we cannot steam into the waves and stay upright. Without power, we can do nothing, no matter how great the outward structure is. Taking up our cross daily, abiding in the Lord and in His Word daily, praying daily, hourly, minute by minute, obeying the words and the commands of Jesus, drawing close to Jesus, asking forgiveness from Jesus, forgiving others and humbling ourselves before them. All of this is stoking the fires of our heart and keeping its condition good. Not worrying about the things the Gentiles worry about, not being anxious about the things of the world, taking no thought about tomorrow, but rather considering God and how He feeds the birds of the air and clothes the fields. And that marvellous Solomon that says in the Word that it was not arrayed with such splendour, with such glory. All of this and more is a shovel of coal in the furnace of our heart. It all begins with a baptism of fire, brothers and sisters. It would do you no good to shovel coal into a furnace that's not lit. This is the baptism of the Holy Spirit. It's the fire of our heart and the power that propels us through every obstacle, no matter how strong or how fierce. If we indeed have this fire, let it never be allowed to burn down to just embers. Be careful about the condition of your heart. There is nothing more important.